morning, everybody. My name is Miriam Divine, and welcome to another one of our readings. This is the new moon, or honestly, it's the day after the new moon reading. We are doing a cycle reading every cycle this year. At least we're going to try to anyway. And I start my lunar cycles on November, the first one in November, so this is the cycle 13 for the year, or the new cycles of the old system, however you want to look at it. So this is cycle 13. So this is ending out our October, or the end of the year, and the new year, of course, starts on the 1st of November, and then we move through all the cycles, all 13 of them again, that will come up. Or roughly there in November. It's not exactly November 1st, but it's right around there. So we're going to do a reading, and I always like to do a preparing for the month type of reading, or preparing for the month type of thing. And I do journaling and stuff. That's up to you if you want to do all that. We're just going to go ahead. These are the cards that fell out for Hecate, for our Hecate ritual, which I did do. And we talked about this in my last thing. These are my counting beads. This is a bay leaf. In fact, this is a sage, mugwort, and bay leaf. It is the 3 keys incense. And so let's begin. So our preparing for this month, or that's honestly up to you, what you want to prepare, what you want to try to accomplish for this cycle. Sorry, I'm using month and cycle kind of simultaneously. It's really the cycle. We have kind of like several different little readings inside of this reading, if that makes sense. It's this one here. Okay. So this is our kind of overall theme for this cycle, which is cloak and dagger. Very mysterious for this last cycle. There's going to be a lot of maneuvering. I wouldn't say deception, but maneuvering of different pieces of the puzzle. I find that kind of interesting. So this is either you or somebody in your field is going to be doing this. And we need more information on this feel for the month. The overall feel, yes, we'll just draw a little bit. We'll see, where that kind of feel is. It might be every aspect, and it may not be. We will see. It is the Ace of Pentacles. It's in your finances, right? The beginning of finances will be part of this cloak and dagger routine. So something you're going to do, it's going to be a little tricky to start up something. You're going to have to do a little bit of bootstrapping or starting that. Let's see if anything else. That was kind of a strange shuffle, wasn't it? I thought it was strange myself. It's that one right there. And it is the Page of Pentacles, right? You're going to get financial messages as well. So this is a very financial month for you, all right? So something you're starting up, you're going to get messages, and it's going to be semi-interesting in the secrecy feel of this, in fact, it says right like that, of this month. So very, very message-oriented. And the Queen of Cups. This is being in our full emotional strength. So whatever this cloak and dagger is, it's gonna be in this area too, in our emotional strength. It's going to feel a little bit off, but it's gonna be there. And the last one, hold on, was she holding there? Can't tell you what she's holding. Man, I need my glasses. Oh, it's a little lobster or something. Or a shell. Oh, it's a shell. Okay, she's holding a shell. So, boy, that's too early in the morning for me. And let's get one last one for what's this cloak and dagger for the feel, for the overall feel of the cycle. It's this one right here. And that's the last one, the Three of Cups. And celebrations and parties, right? So, this maneuvering and kind of mystery is going to be in these areas. So kind of pay attention. A lot of emotions over here and a lot of finances over here. This is also, looking at these cards, a very kind of divine feminine month or cycle, because as you can see, these are all the receiving cards versus the actionable cards. So yeah, so let's go on and see what's the first. That was actually very useful. I'll try to remember that for this month. By the way, how these readings work is, if you found them, they're probably yours. Put that one in the middle somewhere. Hey, it's a spin again. Okay, we're gonna clean these out. Okay, because we probably draw from this deck again. Go ahead and erase them. Okay. And our cloak and dagger card, we will leave. We'll just, I'll put it right over here so we have it, right? So, as the month progresses, we're going to get, you know, you have your waxing and the full moon and the waning. So we're going to worry about waxing. So what is our feel for the waxing portion of this? This is much more minor than, this is the overall cloak and dagger feel. This is what's happening in the first half of the month, the first half of the cycle, sorry. You can tell it's the very first one of these cycle readings I've ever done. And so in the first half of our cycle, feeding the crows, transformation, right? This is a lot of mental. See how it's got the 3? It's also very creativity. It's, you need to embark on your creative endeavors in this portion of the cycle, or at least this is very fertile for that, with the 3 and the feeding the crows and transformation. The crows are in this mind feel, this messages and things feel. So let's see, as far as our creative endeavors, we want these guys again? Yeah, we'll draw from here again. So as far as our creative endeavors, this is 1. Creating this creative endeavors, there's 2, and there's 3 right there. I saw it flip. If I can get it, it's this one right here. And that is what the waxing portion is going to be for our creative endeavors. So that is the 5 of Pentacles, which is this. Let me put these on again so I can actually get a good feel for this. It is like a little bit of struggling in our financial area, but this is more material area, not necessarily finances, where things are going to seem tough, like you're in the middle of a blizzard and stuff, not just figuratively. And the 8 of Pentacles, which is this, I'm creating, however, you know, you're mixing potions, however, it's going to feel like you're not. And it's not about creation, it's about this mental feeding of your crows, feeding of your mental game, not necessarily the building of anything or creating potions. The same with the 8 of Swords, right? We got 2 8s and a 5, so 8s are very important. See how she feels like she's bound and trapped? Well, this feeding of your transformation is no longer bound and trapped here. It might feel like that. It's not about creating, it's about releasing those bonds, right? And there's going to be a little bit of a storm you're going to have to go through, a little bit of heaviness. but it's not this, how do I want to say this? It's not this, there's a journey, the journey's there, but it's not the actionable part of the journey, if that makes sense. So that's our first portion of the cycle coming up, is feeding the crows. And it's going to be interesting. This is about growing a business or growing your creation. Let's, gotta take these off. They're readers only. So this is also part of our month. We'll put that right there. And so let's look at the back half of our cycle, or the waning portion, and then we'll do our full moon portion in the middle, because that's our power creative portion. But we're going to do the waning portion first. We're going to clean these out a little bit. Clean them with the flames. Ooh, it's hot. Okay. So we're going to draw another one from here. By the way, I pre-shuffled everything before, so I don't sit here and shuffle like a million times over. It's not that one. It's this one. So this is for our waning portion of the month, or of the cycle. And the flames, more transformation, right? Interesting, we got transformation twice. So this cycle is going to definitely feel about transformation. This is about burning transformation. This one's about getting in your creative mental aspects. This one's going to be about actionable creation, I believe. But let's see about this creation. Let's go ahead and draw some. This is just a different type of creation, by the way. You know, when Steve Jobs talks about you have to have a little bit of a fight to create, that's what this one means. This one's about not necessarily the fight, but just getting in that divine feminine. So let's see, it's this one, this one. You can already see we're going to get a lot of reversals here in this. And the last one is, this one is going to want to come out. Okay. So, the Seven of Cups is about choices. And see all these different choices? Well, this came out in reverse, which means that it's time to pick a choice and stop thinking about it. It's time to focus in on something. Especially with the King of Swords, which is what I thought. This also came out in reverse. It's about, you don't have to be on top of that choice, right? You don't have to be perfectly knowledgeable about that choice. You don't have to know everything about it. You don't have to be the king of it. You just have to make the choice to do action. And the same is with the Six of Cups. See, and it's not about getting gifted anything, right? It came out in reverse as well. This choice, this transformation is all because you made a decision. It wasn't perfect, but you did it anyway, and you began. So that's our waxing portion, that it's more transformation. And it's just as easy as I can say, right? Make a decision, stick with it. Nobody's going to give it to you but you. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this right over here. And now let's look at the full moon. Now the full moon is our power. It's the time when you can do the most creation. You know, the most, I mean, transformation is creation. But it's the full moon energy. And I'm going to put this over here. Let's draw one more of these for the full moon. And the new moon will be in cycle. There it is right there. So, nourishment, right? The full moon energy for this month is all about taking care of yourself with nurturing with plants and herbs and things, such as like we had the sage here and the mugwort and stuff. Do a little research and study some plants. If you don't already have a special plants that you follow, like I do this one, I use roses. But it's you're going to do that. Oh, there, almost spilled my water. Okay, and we're going to draw some cards on this nourishment for our full moon. So in the full moon, definitely do some type of incense, maybe sage your house, and nourish yourself, sage yourself, or however, whatever herbs that you like to choose from. You might even choose some of the fancy special herbs that people like to do, and we got a lot of cards for this. And the Queen of Cups came up again. So this full moon, there's going to be a lot of it. In fact, that we get this very similar cards to what we had here. So let me put my glasses on so we can see these. So we have the Queen of Cups, which is nurturing you and your divine feminine, right? Take care of yourself and your emotions. Same with have your friends and your celebration groups. You're going to have to nurture those as well. And the Ten of Pentacles, this is in your family life. This is in all of your finances. This is a very big working. Whatever you're doing on the full moon has got a lot of stuff here, right? And there's going to be movement, right? With the Chariot, there's going to be this, I could say, movement. And then we have the Two of Pentacles that came out in reverse, which is this little bit of imbalance, right? It's okay to be a little bit imbalanced. And the Magician also came out reversed. So as I look at this progression of the full moon, what I'm seeing is, especially because we're surrounded by transformation before and after, I'm seeing this divine feminine of let it happen to you, and just nurturing and nourishment of yourself. And you're not going to be needing a lot of other people, and you don't need to take a lot of action, but there's going to be movement in your areas, if that makes sense. And so, as I can feel my voice starting to go, we're going to go ahead and call it an end of our reading. But have much love, everybody. Have a good one. Bye.